Hey everyone, so I know Black Ops Cold War is coming out soon and all that stuff, but I finally unlocked Damascus, and I want to tell you how I did it because there are a few tips that I want to share that I don't think very many, if not any other YouTubers have shared. So I just want to help you guys out if you're still on that grind, and without further ado, let's get into it. So the way that I'm going to break everything down is I'm going to start with some general tips, then I'm going to talk about specific camo challenges and some tips on how to complete those. Then I'm going to go through the specifics for each weapon class, and then I'm going to talk about how I personally like to unlock gold camos when I'm grinding. So start off with some general tips, is that shoot house is so important. For most guns, you're going to need long shots, and unless you're doing pistols or shotguns, which have a long shot distance of less than 20 meters, you're going to need shoot house because you have the head glitch that a lot of people like to use, and if you take advantage of that head glitch, you can really get a lot. And personally, I've gotten 30 long shot kills in some games, so shoot house is very helpful. Shipment is also incredibly helpful because you can get tons of kills, but it isn't necessary. Personally, I've gotten most of the camo challenges done for some weapons on other maps, not shipment. So shipment is very helpful, but unless you're doing melee weapons, it's really not absolutely necessary. The third thing I want to say is that you need to take advantage of double weapon XP. It is so helpful. You can unlock so much more. In particular, take advantage of double XP weekends because, one, it's free double XP, and two, it's long. So you get a lot of double weapon XP, and you just really want to grind out whenever that is active. However, when you're using tokens for double weapon XP, you can use them for most guns, but make sure you save them for launchers and melee because those are the hardest to use, and they will need the most. You'll probably need the most help to level them up. And then my last tip is that you should try to combine as many camo challenges into one kill as possible. So, for example, you could do a headshot, crouching, hip fire, and all attachment kills, and that would unlock one kill for 4 different camo challenges. Or at least try to focus on a few per game at once, and that way you'll get them done faster. And actually, rounding back to the double weapon XP thing, just want to stress its importance again. For, I think, 17 guns, I unlocked them all in a week of double XP shipment shoot house. So, really take advantage of that double XP. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about some tips for specific camos. So, as I said before, for mounted and long shot kills on most guns, so that includes ARs, snipers, LMGs, marksman rifles, and even SMGs, you should try to go on shoot house and use the head glitches at each spawn to get long shots. It'll streamlines everything so much, makes everything go so much faster, and it's so helpful. So then, for shortly after reloading kills, I would recommend when you spawn, fire off one bullet, and then reload, and that means that if you can get a kill within a few seconds of spawning, it'll count as a shortly after reloading kill. And if you equip sleight of hand, that helps even more, especially when you've already engaged and you're kind of out in the field. Then for the 3 kills without dying camos, if you're on shipment, I would highly recommend going to the coalition spawn and going behind the cargo container door. It's a great place to sort of hide, and you can see all the people down the lane of down by the C flag and domination, and if you need to, you can also loop around to see the A flag. So now I'm going to talk about some specifics for each weapon class. So we start with assault rifles. I'm kind of just going to go down the list. So for ARs, the long shot distance is 37.5 meters, which means you're going to need to do it on Shoot House. Also, the numbers I'm getting for the long shots are from a video from Exclusive Ace, and I'll put that video down in the description if you want to check that out. So, for long shots using the ARs, I would recommend using the sniper or variable zoom scope, depending on what kind of zoom you prefer, but it's personal preference. Then for the SMGs, the long shot distance is 30 meters, which you can achieve on shipment, but it is much harder to do than on Shoot House and doing the head glitch. And for this, I would recommend using the longest barrel possible if you're doing it on Shoot House, and then using the VLK scope because it provides a little more visibility than some higher zoom scopes like the Scout Combat Optic. So I would recommend using the VLK over that, but again, personal preference. Then for shotguns, the only weapon you're going to need long shots on is the 725, which you only need a long shot of at least 12.5 meters, which for the 725 is no problem at all. Just go on shipment and kind of aim across the lanes. Won't be hard. You can, of course, equip like a choke or a longer barrel if you want, but it really shouldn't be too much of a problem. And because of that, it replaces the headshot kills for the gun, so you're not going to need any headshots with the 725. For point-blank kills, I would say that it's very helpful to try to slide into your enemy, because then it's easier to get close to them that way. Of course, if you happen to run into them, that's also helpful, but I say sliding into them is probably the most helpful. Then with the LMGs, the long shot again is 37.5 meters, so Shoot House. There is no variable zoom scope with this class, but there is still a sniper scope, so I recommend using that. And then I also just want to quickly warn you that the M91 and the MG34 are so difficult to unlock camos with because they just have so slow of a mobility. So particularly when you are doing no attachment kills, it's going to be, just be ready for it to be hard, because it is. Then we have Marksman, which again, 37.5 meters. This you do have sniper and variable zoom scope, so equip those. And then I also want to say that the MK2 carbine is a lot easier to do in hardcore, because if you don't hit the head or the very upper chest in core modes, it will not be a one-shot kill, and the rate of fire is pretty slow on it, so you could be killed before that happens in core. So I would recommend doing hardcore, but I did do it in core somehow, so it is still possible. Then for snipers, the long shot is 50 meters, so definitely on Shoot House. And then I'd recommend using the default sniper scope or variable zoom scope again. But then when doing non-long shot challenges, I would highly recommend putting on the max mobility attachments that you can, as well as taking off the sniper scope and putting on a VLK scope, because that makes the ADS time so much quicker, and it'll make it so much easier to get kills, unless of course you're good with quick scoping, in which case the normal sniper scope won't be an issue at all. So then we get to the pistols. So for this, the long shot distance is 20 meters, which means you can easily do it on shipment as long as you're on one side of a lane and the enemy is on the very other. And this makes it not very difficult to get long shot kills as long as you're maintaining that distance. And for all engagements, I would highly recommend using a barrel that increases your damage range and bullet velocity for all pistols, because it makes it so much easier to use, especially for the X16 1911, and it also in some cases, particularly with the Desert Eagle, it can make your shots to kill smaller. Then I would also recommend, especially for the 1911, to use an extended mag, because if you're anything like me, you will blow through that 7-round mag and barely hit any of those shots. But if you are good at not missing with the 1911, then I guess to each their own. Then I would also recommend a lightweight trigger, because you can get more shots down range faster. It's just so helpful. Then we get to launchers. So, most important thing, amped is a must. If you don't have amped, it's going to take years to reload your launcher. So, you have to have amped. That is non-negotiable. Whenever you're working on launchers, have amped on. I would also recommend that until you get platinum launchers, always keep a launcher as your secondary. So whenever there's a kill streak, you can shoot it down and get points towards your camos. And then you can also get kills with it whenever you need to. So, speaking of kill streaks, whenever you see a kill streak, you need to rush to destroy it or shoot it down, because there might be only a few chances per game. Maybe if they're spamming personal radars, no, but you really just want to be the first one to shoot down that kill streak, whether it be a VTOL, a personal radar, a UAV, or anything else. You just want to be the first one to shoot it down so you can get those points towards your camos. Then I would also say that the Strela is affected by drop. No other weapon is affected by drops, but the Strela is. So you need to make sure that when you're aiming, you aim a little bit higher, particularly for airborne kill streaks, like personal radars, counter UAVs, because otherwise you're not going to hit them. So, and there is a specific way to shoot down UAVs with the Strela. I can't with the RPG, but with the Strela, it is very much possible, and I'll show it in the video at about this point. Yeah. And then with the Joker, I have a bunch of tips, because I would say this is my hardest one, and but it's also the one that gave me the most information about how to use it. So I'm just gonna start. So with the Joker, there is a lane between points A and C in domination on shipment that you can lock onto. So if you're at C and the other enemy's at A, you can kind of lock onto that point, and the missile will hit A. Then I also want to say that the Joker won't lock onto a target unless you're far enough away from where you're aiming, so you can't just shoot it at the ground. And then in Shoot House, another way, so again, between A and C in domination, if you want to shoot from one head glitch area, from one spawn to the other, you can if you go up on the head glitch, but it'll only work from point A to C, because there's no wall in front of the head glitch at point A, but at point C there is, so the missile will slam into the wall and blow up and kill you, and it won't kill any enemies unless they happen to be right there for some reason. This is very important, very insightful. So for defensive kills with the Joker, this is probably the easiest kills to get, as opposed to attacker kills, which I would say are normally the easiest. So with defender kills, what you can do is, particularly on shipment, you can aim at one spawn point or something, and then you can capture an objective, and as long as you're on the objective when the missile hits and gets a kill, it will count as a defense kill, which I found to be very helpful. Now, a few more general tips for launchers. So first, personal radars and counter UAVs count as both aerial and ground kill streaks. So those are the most important to shoot down, because they'll count towards two different things. And then vehicles like ATVs and TAC rovers and SUVs and stuff like that, they only count, if you blow them up with a launcher, they'll only count as a vehicle destruction if there's enemies in it. But then there's also some kill streaks that count as vehicle destruction. So these are the actual vehicle kill streaks, like choppers. What else? I think the Wheelson, the VTOL, and others like that. But also the UAV, personal radar, and counter UAV. They all also count as vehicles. And then the last thing I want to say is that killing someone by hitting them with a launcher actually does count as a launcher kill, and this goes for any gun, actually, so definitely take advantage of that. If you're near someone, you don't have to kill yourself by shooting up the ground, you can just hit them with the launcher. Now, finally, we are on the last class, which is melee weapons. So, you have the knife and you have the riot shield. I will say, for the knife, I honestly don't have that much advice, because I kind of just started trying to do it one day, and it turned out that I had a lot of kills already done, and I have no idea, so I'm sorry, I can't help with that. But I can help a bunch with the riot shield, as well as a couple general tips for the melee weapons. So, for the shield, shipment hardcore. You need to be in hardcore, because that means riot shield will be a one-shot kill as opposed to a two-shot kill in normal core. So that's very important. And then I would say, as a loadout, of course, shield is your primary. But then for perks, make sure to use double time and restock, because double time, that means if you're crouching, which is good to protect yourself more, you'll move 30% faster, which is actually very significant. And then restock, so that when you're using stuns to stun people and they get behind them or just kill them at all, just makes it so much easier. So make sure to use restock, stuns, and double time, and then it doesn't matter what else is in your class. Although I would recommend for get kills while injured, that you have a thermite that you can throw on the ground, take some damage from, and then get a kill right after. That is very helpful, and that's what I use to get most of my injured kills. Then, for the 3 kill camos, the best advice I can give is that you really have to camp. You really have to camp, and then when you see an enemy, you go and kill them, and then you kind of hide away. You can kind of run around, but camping, as cheeky as it sounds, is actually probably the best strategy. And in addition to that, I would say that, as I said before, or I think I said before, you need to crouch as much as possible to protect your feet so that you stay alive as much as possible and you can get as many kills as possible before dying. So now I'm going to move on to a few more general tips for melee weapons. So, 1, there's a glitch with melee weapons where one of the challenges is you have to get 25, I believe, finishing. You have to execute an enemy 25 times while using a melee weapon. But at least for me, all I had to do was get kills while the challenge was unlocked with that weapon. So don't stress about that. Because if your game works anything like mine, those will just work as normal kills, and you won't have to worry about that at all. And I would say that's about it for weapons. So now I'm going to move on to how I unlock camos in particular. So this is how I like to unlock camos. So what I do to start is I use the gun until I've unlocked the headshot camos for said gun. Then I'm going to focus on headshots, and then as I unlock hipfire and crouch kills, I'm also going to focus on those. And I'm going to stay on shipment until I finish all of those. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to shoot house, and I'm going to work on the long shot and mounted kills. And as I'm doing that, I'm also going to keep all my attachments on to work on the all attachment kills camo. And as long as that's unlocked, you should try to keep 5 attachments on your gun until you finish that, in which case you should try to work on the Python camos, which are the no attachment camos. So that's important. And then after I've done the long shots and mounted kills, what I'll do is I'll go back into shipment and I'll try to just clean up whatever's left, because usually I'll do some work on camos as I'm doing those other, while I'm focusing on other camos. For example, as I'm focusing on long shot and mounted kills, I might get a 3-kill streak one time, or I might get a kill shortly after reloading. So what I'll do is I'll just, whatever is left, I'll just go into shipment, or, yeah, I'll go into shipment and I'll just try to clean up whatever's left. And I would say that's about it. So thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe and comment down below if you have any other questions about the Damascus grind or any tips that I have, and I'll do my best to answer them. Anyway, that's it. Thanks. Bye. Bye. No! Crap. No. Damn it. No! Why'd I do that? I should not have put that there. No! Oh, I knew he was gonna do that.
Enemy at the dumpster. Kill confirmed.
2.
Shield turret deployed.
No! No! I was so close!
Kill confirmed. Hostiles in the area.
There's 1. 2.
Kill confirmed.
3.
Kill confirmed.
Okay, that's 3. I just need 1 more. Did I do it? Did I do it?
Cruise missile incoming.
Let's go! Yes, I did it! I did it! Oh my gosh, I did it! I got Damascus! I did it! Yes! Holy crap! Yes! Oh my gosh, yes! Yes, I'm done! I'm finally done! Oh my gosh, I did it! I did it! Yes! Yes! Oh my gosh, I did it! I did it! Every gun has... I did it! I freaking did it! Yes! Oh my gosh! I actually did it! Oh, yes! Victory is mine! Oh, I'm so happy. I don't care that I lost. We lost the game. I got Damascus camo. Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Enemy at the forklift.
I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. I got Damascus camo. Hell yes. Let's all see all this. Might go to the next match beforehand, but let's hope we can get through all of them. Oh, I got the SKs. Oh yeah, because whatever. It's going way out of order, but every gun Damascus. See if this works. Oh, I did it. I freaking did it. My goodness, I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. That is beautiful. I finally got Damascus. Months of grinding for hours is just paid off. I have Damascus. Frick yes! 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 Yes, I did it! I did it! That is such a good feeling.